people that are added on. I'm not talking about the fixed circumstance here. I'm talking about people that we're adding on. Those 6 to 10 people we're adding on to the retiree program.
Right.
We're incurring that cost as a new cost when we're losing some of the old costs because some of those people are not surviving.
So 10 years from now, the number's gonna be $200,000 a year instead of $120,000, just so you understand. You're talking about time, right? And you're not gonna be here, I'm not gonna be here, but that's the can you're gonna be.
Well,
looking at.
I'm not just concerned about that. I'm also concerned about the fact that when they retire, this is an $800 bill that we're adding to their,
Absolutely.
to them.
And
If nobody said it so far, let me just say, thank you guys for working so hard. I see you guys out in the streets. I see the police. I see the fire department. I see the DPW workers. I see you guys out there busting your ass every single day. I watch you guys when you come pick up the garbage. I'm not saying that at all. I'm giving my own opinion and I'm allowed to.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm saying that I want to thank, regardless of all this, thank you for the job that you do. You all work extremely hard. I think that when we're discussing this problem, I think that we're looking at it as from a grand scale of a fixed circumstance that we can't change when we're only talking about 6 to 10 people a year that are added on to that because some people come off of the current retiree list. So that's all I'm saying.
And we could also look at the fact that we just added $100,000, for example, in cannabis sales. There's always opportunities to increase the top line on any budget. And that could always help to soften any type of impact. So more revenue, more opportunities.
Our revenues are not increasing at the same rate as our expenditures. The amount our health insurance costs are increasing is unsustainable. I mean, it's 1/6% of our budget right now, but it's not gonna be long. It's gonna be 1/4 and then 1/3. I mean,
And again, the other elephant in the room is the fact that we negotiated this clause in all the contracts for a reason. And the reason was that we were spending $400 and something thousand a year paying for insurances that people did not switch to Plan B. And so we negotiated this into all the agreements so that from this point on, it's a mandatory switch.
Right, but we're talking about just
incentive-
this
I want to go through the
specific
history. I
$66 a month.
understand of all these issues, but the incentive was put in place to incentivize that switch, okay? And so we were paying people to do something that would really benefit the city without hurting themselves at the time, right?
Mhm.
That's what we were trying to do. This wasn't created as to pay for that insurance. This was created to give them an incentive to switch to an insurance that would cost the city less. And, I'm going to echo what Alderman Marticello said. We don't spend our time thinking of ways that we can take money away from employees. We spend our time thinking of ways we can keep employees, we can hire employees. And we don't want to penalize anybody. If I could give you the $66 out of my pocket, I would. We're trying to come up with a way to manage the costs of health insurance that won't hurt everyone, that won't require us to try and cut benefits, that won't require us to go into a negotiation session and just, present something that nobody's going to say yes to. But this is not something that we're doing at the last minute. And that's the one thing I will say this. If people want more time, because this is happening in 30 days, right? 35 days. If people want more time to decide if this clause, this extra payment is going to be the difference between you retiring or not, I don't mind delaying that at all. Because I do feel we only gave you 35 days, and it was because of, wording things like that, but I don't mind that at all if the council wishes to change that. Yes, Kelly.
A few things on this. I think it's really important that we look at the huge savings that we have as a city when someone goes from being 64 years old to 65 years old. And we go from a couple's MVP plan to 2 individuals on Medicare Part B and us supplementing it with that. This is an executive function. This is something that should be done at the negotiating table. We talk about the history and why we have it, and that people got raises and things like that. I mean, talking about people in retirement where, yeah, they have some pensions and they're gonna have a lot more expenses. And we're talking about people right now in our city hall that are already working other jobs. Like when you say go out and find another job, they have other jobs. How many people that work in this city hall have a second job? They leave here at 4:00 and they go to Home Depot, they go to Price Chopper, and they go to Target and they work another job. They know what it's like to have expenses that they need to meet. They are working here for us because they love their city. And public service is a trade-off. You can make more in the public